Hey, Arcturus here. Today, we're looking at Space Wolf Headtakers. These are a new model for the Space Wolves faction from Games Workshop. Terminator Light. The other version of these, essentially, is the Wolfguard Terminators, but these are the Headtakers. They come with some very nice wolves as well in the kit, and build some very nice Viking-themed Space Marines. So we'll start off by looking at the wolves. Some very nice detail on the fur. They look much better than the fenrisian wolves did for the old fenrisian wolf kit, in my opinion. They are a lot smaller, I think, than the Thunderwolf Cavalry, but I don't have that. So if you do have the Thunderwolf Cavalry, let me know in the comments down below if these are about the same size or smaller than the Thunderwolf Cavalry. I wouldn't be surprised if next edition there were some additional unit updates for the Space Wolves, particularly Thunderwolf Cavalry and Wolven. I could also see them getting rid of the Space Wolf Dreadnought, hopefully replacing it with a new one, but I could also see them getting rid of that. So here we have what I take to be the squad leader. He's got a nice shield and axe here. There is another option for this kit to take them with dual weapons instead of the shield, but I much prefer the shield look personally. I also think the 4-up invuln is a lot better than not. And then you get this nice little base piece here of like bones that is attached to the leg, but I just thought that was a cool little addition. They are really nicely detailed. One thing I like about all the Space Wolf models is they did go through and change all the little skulls where it'd normally be like a human skull to a wolf skull. So that was pretty cool. You got that here on the shield as well. It does make swapping these parts to another kit a little more difficult, right? It's harder to use these as spare parts for, Salamander's army or even a Chaos Space Marine army because of the wolf skulls. But like this one's got one on the belt there, and you got some like wolf tails here. Or maybe this is the leader. I don't remember. He's got the rune on his helmet, so he might be the leader. I'm not 100% sure. They don't really have one on the from their unit card. Although I'll double check in a second. There's some nice variation on the shields, and we'll look at all those together momentarily. There's that other shield. This one's got like a gem on the helmet. There are some unhelmeted options for these, of course. I just don't prefer them to the helmeted versions. But I do like that there is some variation. So as the other one had the wolf skull, this one has like a gem instead of the wolf skull for that belt there. And the shields, this one has like gems on it, whereas the one on the left has just like diamond points. And then the third one has runes instead, which I think will look really cool. So let's see if I remembered correctly for the Wolfguard Headtakers. Yes, so I did. So the Storm Shield for them does give them a 4-up invuln save. Some of the models in here, if you take the Storm Shield, it gives them an extra wound. And some of them, it gives us 4-up invuln save. It just depends on whether or not the model already natively has an invuln save. But they do come with heavy bolt pistols as well, which are on the models, I think, as like a pouch. I actually don't remember. I don't actually know. I don't think they are. Oh no, they're just very hidden. Never mind. They are on the model. Just very hidden. You do also get wolves with them, hunting wolves. If you do take the Headtakers with wolves, you use the wolf profile on the Headtaker data sheet, even though they become 2 units on the tabletop, which I thought was a little strange. I would have expected them to become a 3-man unit of Fenrisian wolves, but I guess not. So Fenrisian wolves, here's it's the gloss paper there interfering. Where you see they look a little older. They don't look bad, but they don't look as good either. They definitely show their age somewhat. I think a upscaled kit for them would be fine. Whereas when I was talking about the Thunderwolf Cavalry, these look much newer, but I could see them perhaps getting updated or not. It just depends on, because the Marine on top of them is certainly that older older view there. They do have another option to take the dual weapons, and that just gives them 3 additional attacks because you take, 2 additional attacks each as paired master crafted power weapons with 6 attacks versus the 4 attacks of the master crafted power weapon as opposed to the paired. Other than that, the damage is all the same, and I think the 4-up invuln is probably better. In terms of sprue, if you build them with shields, this is pretty much what you're left with. You get 3 swords and some heads. And there is some nice variation in heads. I just much prefer the helmeted view. Well, that is all I have for today. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more videos. Let me know in the comments down below your favorite new Space Wolf unit, or old, favorite Space Wolf unit. And I will see you next week for another video.